A whole family frozen mid-bite. Food still in their mouths. They didn't freeze in hours. It happened in minutes. 6 days. And Earth's temperature plummeted by 15 degrees. It sounds like something from a horror movie, but it's not fiction. It happened 40,000 years ago. And the terrifying part? It could happen again. Tomorrow. The Ice Age ran on its own brutal physics. No warnings. No second chances. It was a planet with its finger on the delete key. Welcome to the deadliest terrain humans ever dared to cross. A world where nature didn't just try to kill you. It expected to. The first hour on the Frostfang Plains hits like a punch in the face. Imagine stepping into -25 Fahrenheit air, with a 30 miles per hour wind slamming into your body. That gives you a wind chill of -53 degrees. At that point, your skin starts dying in under 15 minutes. That's not survival mode. That's countdown mode. Your fancy ski jacket? Useless. Wind pressure flattens synthetic insulation, making it lose 80% of its warmth instantly. And don't even think about jeans. Denim, cotton underwear, socks, all of it turns traitor, pulling heat away from you like a sponge. Got rubber-soled boots? Congratulations. You're now walking on bricks of ice. Here's the real enemy, the wind. It doesn't just make things cold. It rips away the protective layer of warmth your body desperately tries to keep. Ancient humans weren't just wearing dead animals for style. Their clothing was engineered for survival. Fur stacked in layers, hair pointing in opposite directions, outer shells that blocked the wind, and hand-sewn seams tighter than a drum. Modern outdoor gear wishes it could compete. Minutes in, your body starts to panic. It begins cutting off blood flow to your hands and feet. Saving the core, sacrificing the edges. Your fingers turn stiff. Your toes go silent. Try to open a zipper with numb fingers. It's like threading a needle while wearing mittens. Your core temperature has now dropped half a degree. Technically, you're not hypothermic yet, but your body knows what's coming. It kicks into overdrive. You start shivering. Not gentle shivers, but full body spasms. A furnace made of twitching muscles. This burns calories at triple the normal rate. You're creating heat through raw friction. But it's like lighting matches in a hurricane. And here's where the math gets scary. Every hour you shiver, you lose 300 calories. Walking in snow eats 200 more. Fighting that wind? Add another 100. That's 600 calories burned every hour. Most people only have about 1,200 calories of usable energy. That gives you 2 hours. Maybe. Meanwhile, your blood pressure's skyrocketing. Your kidneys think, too much fluid, and start dumping water fast. You're freezing, and now you're dehydrated too. It's a perfect physiological storm. Every system under stress, all at once. Ancient survivors had a trick. Fat loading. They'd pack on 15 to 20 pounds before winter. Their bodies were fat-burning machines, built for this. But us? We're built for thermostats and Uber Eats. Our bodies have no idea how to handle this. This is just the first segment to demonstrate the pacing structure. If you'd like, I can continue and complete the rest of the script in the same format broken into timed, VO-friendly blocks for realism. Let me know if you want the entire script with voiceover markers or just specific scenes, and whether you'd like a SRT-style subtitle version as well. Ask ChatGPT. You said, further, ChatGPT said, updated saved memory. Here's the continued script, with realistic voiceover pacing markers, etc., maintaining tension, rhythm, and dramatic pauses for immersive narration. This picks up from 4 hours in. The Frostfang Plains stretch into forever. No trees, no hills, no landmarks, just endless knee-high grass under a dull gray sky that gives you zero sense of direction. You're not at risk of getting lost. You will get lost. Hypothermia has now reached your brain. That 3-pound organ eats 20% of your body's glucose. But it's getting starved. Your decision-making? Sideways. Risk assessment? Gone. You start forgetting things. Like which way you came from. Arctic tribes like the Tok'ra developed survival techniques that bordered on sorcery. Reading the wind in grass blades. Spotting color shifts in snow. Tracking stars hidden to untrained eyes. But these weren't YouTube hacks. They took lifetimes to master. Passed down from elder to child. Over centuries. You start moving in random loops. Energy drains faster from poor movement. And the worst part? You don't even feel the urgency anymore. That's hypothermia's final trick. Making you think you're fine, when you're minutes from collapse. 6 hours in. There's movement in the grass nearby. It's big. Slow. Calculated. Ice Age predators didn't run on our rules. No traffic to dodge. No cities to avoid. Just silence. And snow. And something watching you from the edge of visibility. No gunshots. No warning. Just the rustle of grass. And then silence. Predators didn't fear humans. Why would they? No rifles. No fences. No artificial smells. Meet the tundra lion. Bigger than today's lions. Over 500 pounds. A jaw that could crush frozen mammoth ribs like breadsticks. These cats didn't just hunt. They coordinated. Pack tactics. No hesitation. Human scent. A dinner bell. And the truth is, your smell is a death sentence. Detergents. Shampoo. Snack wrappers. Polyester jackets. Everything you brought screams your location. Across the plains. Ancestors of the Northvec tribes masked their scent with smoke, rendered fat, and plant oils. They became olfactory ghosts. We smell like factory-farmed aliens, dipped in conditioner. Hypothermia makes everything worse. It short-circuits your startle reflex. Even if you spot a predator, you're too sluggish to run. Too clumsy to fight. Ancient humans, like the Ruanic, carried death on their belts. Stone-tipped spears, bone knives, atlatels, dart throwers that could pierce mammoth hide. The grass rustles again, closer this time, and now it's hour 8. 8 hours in. Your body has burned through most of its glycogen. The fast, efficient energy stored in your liver and muscles. It's desperate, so it turns on itself, chewing through muscle tissue to survive. This doesn't just weaken you. It dooms you. Muscle is your furnace. Lose it, and you lose heat. You move slower. You think slower. And that's when recovery stops being an option. Even if someone found you right now, what would you eat? Which plants survive the freeze? Where are the hidden caches of dried food? Which tracks mean prey and which mean predator? These aren't instinctive answers. They were taught, memorized, held in the oral libraries of people like the Varnak. Thousands of facts passed down through stories. We might recognize 12. Mostly strawberries. Even if you found food, would you eat it? Winter survival wasn't about flavor. It was math. Frozen organ meat. Bone marrow cracked from femurs. Fermented fish. Buried nuts. Dried insects stored like trail mix. Dense calories. Crucial fats. Nutrients that powered the body through subzero hellscapes. Without that fuel, everything collapses. Coordination fails. Your immune system gives up. Core temperature drops. And there's no backup battery. It's getting darker. And you can't even make a fire. There are no trees. No kindling. Nothing to burn. Unless you know what can burn. The Voltar clans figured it out. Dried dung. Bone grease. Fat chunks. Even hollowed out marrow used as fuel. They carried fire-starting kits like weapons. Not one method, but several. Flint and steel. Bow drills. Fire plows. Char cloth that could catch sparks even when wet. Fire was more than heat. It was food. Water. Light. Safety. Sanity. With fire, you had a zone where your core temperature could hold. Without it, death speeds up. Lighters freeze. Matches snap. Wet cardboard? A joke. Even with flame, you still need airflow, fuel control, and heat traps. Skills ancient people learned as children. You don't learn that in a weekend camping trip. The cold isn't the worst part anymore. It's loneliness. Humans are social. Take that away, and the brain starts to crack. Ancient tribes like the Ilka never traveled solo in winter. Team survival was law. It was culture. But here, you're alone. And now your brain starts betraying you. 16 hours in, the cold stops being the main threat. Loneliness takes over. And it's brutal. Humans are wired for connection. Strip that away, and the brain begins to fracture. Ancient people like the Ilka knew this. No one traveled alone in winter. Team survival wasn't optional, it was sacred. But here, you're alone. And now, your mind begins to break. Hypothermia doesn't just slow you down. It attacks your brain's command center, the prefrontal cortex. That's where logic, emotion, and decision-making live. But now, it starts to glitch. You get paranoid. You make dumb choices. You misjudge risk. That's when the umbles kick in. You stumble. You mumble. You grumble. You fumble. It's not just clumsiness. It's the cliff edge. A full body signal that the end is near. Ancient survivors recognized these signs fast. They had protocols, systems, interventions. But you're confused. You're freezing. And you're alone. And now comes the fatal mistake. You decide to lie down. Just for a second. Just to rest. That's all it takes. The moment your body touches frozen ground, it starts pulling the last heat out of you. Like a vacuum. The countdown starts. You dehydrate. 20 hours in, your core temperature drops to 93 degrees Fahrenheit. On paper, that's mild hypothermia. In reality, it's critical. Your cells slow down. The enzymes that keep you alive are now sluggish. Your heartbeat skips. It stutters. It misfires. Breathing gets shallow. Oxygen delivery collapses. Your blood thickens like syrup, and your heart struggles to pump that sludge. Meanwhile, every cell in your body is screaming for more oxygen, and getting none. Then comes the weirdest moment. You start to feel warm. Not cozy, not safe, but hot. This is a cruel trick, a dying brain, trying to make sense of chaos. You panic in slow motion, and then you start stripping. Gloves, jacket, boots. Not because you're okay, but because your brain has lost the plot. Paradoxical undressing. Many are found like this, half-dressed, barefoot in the snow, believing they were too hot to survive. Your kidneys are failing. They can't filter toxins. So poisons build up. Brain function dims, like a flickering light bulb. And out there, something has been watching. 22 hours. The pack has been trailing you. Not running. Walking. Stalking. Waiting. Ice Age wolves were not cute. Not cautious. Not small. Some topped 180 pounds. Horse-sized. And bred for one thing. Kill the weak. They didn't hesitate. They knew the signs. Erratic steps. Weird smells. Confused motion. Blood in the water. Ancient Escarn clans had tactics. Tight formations. Banging metal. Eye contact. They taught wolves to fear them. But you're none of that. Hypothermic. Alone. Confused. Even if you see them, you wouldn't understand the threat. You might stare. You might wave. Maybe you'd even smile. And still, they wait. Circling. Steady. Calm. Because this is what they do. Your digestion fails. You keep losing heat. And worst of all, the psychological toll begins. 24 hours. Your core temperature has dropped to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. This isn't survival. This is shutdown. The heart misfires. Brain waves nearly vanish. Every system is in slow collapse. Even if a rescue chopper landed right beside you. Now, your odds are low. The Norak tribes knew this moment. They didn't waste energy. They made you comfortable. They sang. And yet, I double. Our ancestors didn't just survive this. They mastered it. They built shelters with no blueprints. Made fire without matches. Stored food without refrigerators. Kept warm without fleece. Or Gore-Tex. They mapped the stars. Read the wind. Spoke in whistles. Listened to ice crack. Like it spoke their name. They raised children through 6-month nights. Buried their dead in frozen ground. With bare hands. They didn't fear the cold. They respected it. Because they knew. The cold doesn't care if you're brave. It only cares if you're prepared. And so they were. In mind. In body. In tribe. Connected. Resilient. Alive. You? You had fire. But no wisdom. You had tech, but no tribe. And now the ice takes you the way it has taken millions before. Because surviving the Ice Age was never about strength. It was about remembering how to be human